Hi everyone, it's me and you here to take you on an adventure. So sit back, relax, and I'll read for you something I had on the other channel. I'm not sure how well it actually did, but we're going to give it another shot. So, here is the Survivor Diaries, Day 1. I awoke wondering only two things. Where was I and where could I find food? No, you. We're not talking about you. The first question was answered pretty quickly when I looked around the hospital room. It was surprisingly clean, besides a layer of dust that had collected over everything. Turning to the IV in my arm, I thought to myself that I must have been in a coma. I'm not in a coma, you. None of us are in a coma. Well, you get what I mean. Just let me read. That thought made me realize that I was a doctor, and that I couldn't remember anything, including my name. Carefully removing the IV, I sat up and looked around for the patient record, usually at the end of the bed, if it hadn't decided to get up and leave. I considered that I may have gone insane before I had gone into a coma, before returning to the task at hand. Yes, you, I am insane. I am talking to a pretend sheep. The patient record was missing, possibly taken, though why anyone would take that is beyond me. I have a right to know what is wrong with me. That's right, you. Everyone has a right to know what's wrong with them. Before I could worry any further, I realized how hungry I was, and I quickly moved to the door. I told you, none of us are going to have lamb chops tonight. I walked out of the room, following only the basic instincts of every creature on this planet. I searched for food. Ignoring some of the odd-tossed look of the hospital hallway, I moved with purpose. My memory somehow leads me to my destination. I know it. I wrote it a little weirdly. I tried to correct it in the middle of reading, but taking longer than I suspected, I stopped at a vending machine located at the end of the hallway. Turning toward it, I find it still full, barely touched over the time I was here. I know, I haven't really established how long he was there. Not caring about the odd red stain against the door, I began attempting to find some money, searching frantically for some hidden loose change anywhere beyond my populous wardrobe. I told you, let me read the story. Before I could find even a penny lying around, it finally dawned on me that the power was out, so the vending machine wouldn't work that way. The sudden feel of having my feast taken from me only felt as bad as the realization that something as low as a Three Musketeers bar would count as a meal. I would have killed for a Snickers. It's let me read. Hunger gave me additional strength, and I found some fabric to protect my hand from the glass. The shattering sound was the sound of my victory as I took my prize of Doritos and a lonely whatchamacallit bar. I'm not sure if it were the sound of the glass or simply their call to eat. The shuffling sound of their feet told me they had arrived. It's okay. They're pretend. They're pretend. You entertain him. Yeah, that's right, you. The shuffling sound came closer as I listened to the odd, menacing groan approach from the hallways. I almost snickered out loud before finding myself already using the fabric like a bag and stuffing it with my pilfered treats. Let me read. I shook my head before hearing the groan again, knowing that my feet had the right idea, and I turned, finding a place to hide as I ran toward the nearest door. As I approached, the odd stench became more obvious to me, as if like that of rotting flesh. Warning to some kids, this may get a little disgusting. That's my place again. keep losing my place. You let me read my story. I told you to let me read my story. I wanted to see what had caused me to be so afraid so suddenly, and I carefully checked the window. At the time, I believed it was a good decision, but then again, I was wearing a one-piece dress with an open back. Looking inside, I could see someone standing close to the window, shuffling closer to it as they groaned. The doctor inside me, or at least what I believed to be the doctor, made me walk inside to check out what was wrong. Yes, I have him established as a doctor, you. Let me read! The sound of the door made me turn slowly. You! Let me read! The sound of the door made him turn slowly toward me. Before I could ask, I saw the man's face. We were bloodied and discolored, like a corpse that were standing there instead of a man. The iris of his eyes seemed to hold a deadened feel about it, as if the color had faded away. I'm not talking about you. Again, my feet wanted to run, but my curiosity told me to stay until I saw the blood around his mouth and a piece of flesh between his teeth. Knowing that my feet were right, I decided to follow their thought and leave the room, closing the door behind me as I left the corpse man to wonder who I was. I'm turning the page, you. Turning the page. Didn't take long for him to figure it out, and the door broke open as he came running out. Observing him as I ran, I could tell you the two thoughts going through my brain. First was, didn't zombies usually walk, not run? And the second thought was that I felt a rather nasty chill. Draft. I felt a rather nasty draft. It was chilly that day, though. The rest of my thoughts were a jumble of screams and faint images of corridors and rooms as I ran with every ounce of my strength to avoid being eaten. It wasn't until I found a defibrillator that I thought of getting a weapon. It wasn't to beat you. I told you we're not having lamb chops tonight. Maybe eggs. Possibly an egg sandwich. I'm getting hungry. You. Remind me that we're going to eat later today. Not lamb chops. Got it. I wasn't sure why I grabbed it. Perhaps I believed the power would magically come back on. Or that this one would have somehow been battery operated. But I held it out like it would work until he was about 5 feet away, then my brain reminded me of the facts. It was then that I did the one thing I could with that much distance between us. I used the defibrillator. Although not in the way it should have been used. No, this required some creative thinking. You stop. Creative. I am. Let me read. However, I was currently lacking in the thinking department. So I used it like a club and smacked the corpse man across the face. He made the zombie surprise me, but not as much as it surprised the zombie, as it wavered to regain strength, or balance. It had plenty of strength. Not wanting to run as much anymore, I continued to hit the zombie. But don't get me wrong, the breeze did feel rather nice. I just didn't want to be chased by a zombie anymore. I'm almost done, you. Then we can go eat. It was... Stop making me lose my place, you. Entertain the people. Thank you. So I continued hitting him until it did the one thing it was supposed to do. Stay dead. With that, I finally dropped the paddle and panted for air as I stared at the zombie, waiting for it to stand back up. Next, I did the only logical thing I could think of. Just dropped the crash cart on top of it and ran away to get enough space between me and it. All in all, now that I think about it, it was a good day. Not that I like getting chased by a dead man or stealing from a vending machine to survive, but I still think it was a good day. Thank you for listening to me and you stories. And as always, like, subscribe, and comment below if you actually liked it. Remember, this is a new channel, so every like, every subscription, every view means that I did a good job. Every comment as well, the good and the bad, especially the bad. That means you like me. So, hopefully I see you next time, and I'll make sure to take you and you with me. See you next time.